Hi, guys. So, we are about to get started and go live with Miss Hicunni Chandler. And the reason why I am excited about this live is because this lady has helped me a lot to realize that it's not exactly what you eat all of the time. I know many of us can lose weight simply by changing our diet, and that is what we do, but she's going to tell us exactly what else we can do to be how we eat. So, without further ado, Hikini, who has said hi.
Hey.
So, this is truly exciting for me. Number one, because I'm a foodie, as we already discussed and know, right? And I love, 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 love to eat, but I'm always on the go. And so I'm glad that you're here because as dance teachers, a lot of times what we do is we hop from location to location. And that creates an eating challenge because when you're hungry, you just shove anything in your mouth, or when you're on the road, you get whatever's available, which is usually not healthy food. And so I'm glad that you decided to join me today for a quick, just little um, impromptu what can be done for us as teachers and professionals to keep our energy high because we utilize a lot of energy, but as well as to stay healthy, mindful of our weight because we have to be careful of that as well. And I'm also grateful that you decided to do this because you are what? How far? What's the distance or what's the time gap?
It is 6 p.m. right now in Kigali, Rwanda.
Jeez, me
So,
Christmas.
yeah. And so, too, I do have to apologize for the lighting because I'm actually in a coffee shop where long story short, but where we're staying, the guy dropped us off and then he was like, I'll be back. And I was like, I have something at 6 p.m. Well, 12 your time. So I was like, I got to find a coffee shop. So this is my office for right now.
Awesome. So, with that being said, I know I work out of a coffee shop all the time, Panera, whatever. So speaking of coffee shops and fast food and being completely out of the United States, is there like your typical shops that we're used to here, like McDonald's and all that unhealthy stuff?
No, I haven't seen any like traditional fast food places. I've just seen, they have some, American style food here just by different names. Like we
Uh-huh.
have like some, there's some Chinese restaurants that I've seen. There are some like a kind of like a Mexican Moe's type restaurant. But of course,
Hmm.
the only difference is most are run by Rwandans or maybe people that are from a different country, African country. But I've seen a few, non-African people that actually run the restaurants as well. But mostly, people that look more like us are the majority.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So definitely completely different
Hmm.
lifestyle, right?
Right.
So, on your Facebook page the other day, I was drooling because you posted some eggs, bacon, or something. Like, this is my breakfast. Now, a lot of us, when we think of losing weight and we see that plate, we're like, oh, there's no way.
Right.
So, tell us the importance of the things that we eat versus how we eat them.
Right. So, of course, there's a long list of items that people say maybe you shouldn't eat or you should eat, but that shouldn't be the question. Really, inherently, there's no good or bad food. It's just how that food is processed and digested in your particular body. Now, you and me or whoever, we may eat the same meal, but we may metabolize it a lot different. And so that's why when you eat food, we know that it's more than what you eat. There's so many other factors attached to that. And so that bacon and eggs may, be really pleasurable for someone, but then it could be poison for someone else. Like for instance, if you have some food sensitivities, those eggs may not sit well with you. But for someone who can eat anything they want to eat, is good. And then depending on what type of eating rhythm that you subscribe to, whether it's keto or paleo or vegan, I mean, there's so many. The eggs can be like a breath of fresh air for someone that's
Hmm.
eating that particular lifestyle, and for others, they're looking at it as, oh my gosh, I'm going to gain weight. I'm going to gain weight. So it's all of how you look at food and how you see
Hmm.
food personally. And so that's one thing I wanted to like kind of hone in on as a dancer, as a high performer. You know, your bodies do require a lot of energy and you need something that's going to sustain you throughout the day. So the question is, okay, what is really going to help my body? And it's kind of like being a detective because you have to figure out, okay, if I eat, you know, that particular meal, is it going to make me feel vibrant and alive? Or is it going to make me get that
Or
itis?
sleepy.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
right.
Or it's going to make me fall
Ready to
asleep.
throw.
Right. So you need to take that as women and just in general as dancers too. You need to be mindful of what you're putting in your body because you're going to have to be, you know, on point for your students. And so you can't be eating any
Indeed.
yeah, you can't be eating anything that's going to cause you just to like your energy to plummet. You need to be eating things that's going to keep you going and keep you up to par for your dancers, for your students as well.
So I've heard a lot of things about, low carbs and things like that. But I found when I was on point shoes, um, when I eliminated carbs from my diet, I would cramp up, and then the teacher would be like, "Oh, just eat bananas, potassium." I don't necessarily like bananas. So, what are some of the other alternatives? Because I know some people could do no carbs and not even have any issue with it. Me, I love my carbs. So, should it be no carbs or should it be good carbs? And if so, what are the good carbs versus bad carbs and things like that?
That's a good question. So again, you want to find things that will not give you that plummet, like that quick rate, you know, up raise of sugar, and then it just makes you go down. So like avocados,
Hmm.
if you want to add some avocados in, if you want to eat, you know, whatever type of carbs you want to eat, I mean that's fine, but you want to eat a variety. You don't want to get stuck eating the same things because too, your body can get used to that as well, and then over time it can cause a food sensitivity, us eating the same thing over and over and over. And so adding some actual avocados, that's good for you. Also trying some cassava instead of eating like potatoes, like maybe you're, you know, meat and potatoes person. So if you're going to eat potatoes every day, if you want just that starchy feel, try cassava instead. People nowadays, if you can go to different restaurants and find cassava fries instead of potato fries, because if you like a lot of potatoes, it causes that quick spike, and then all of a sudden it's just like that crash. And so
Yeah.
cassava is a little bit more balanced. And that's just a substitute. But again, too, it's not just that carb. It's going to be everything else that you're eating as well. And people don't teach that. And one thing we're finding in mind body nutrition, and also I work on staff part time with the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. And we have a lot of
Hmm.
dietitians that come through our training, and that's the missing piece. They know what they're taught, you know, what to eat and not, you know, what to eat and what not to eat, but they're not taught how things are connected and how everything, there's something connected to every little thing that you eat. It may be, you know, trauma, it may be stress, it may be your kids are getting on your nerves, something, but they don't teach that. They just teach you, okay, you eat a this amount of calories in, out, and that's it. But there's more to that
Hmm.
story. And so those are things too you have to take into account too. There's more to your story. But like if you want to keep your carbs, keep your carbs. But you need to add some other things too to have a balance. And you know, you're getting to, I guess at the time now, finding out now, you're starting to find out what's helping you and what's not helping you. But I would highly recommend avocados because you have your good fats in there too, and it's also good with energy. Helps you get, you know, gives you more energy. And something that's I had never tried before, my husband had last night. It was a avocado juice, and it was
Really?
avocado mixed with pineapples. And you know, pineapples can be kind of, you know, really sweet. Some people don't like to, you know, eat a lot of pineapples, but it
I
was
love pineapple.
it was so good. So it's like you got your good fats in there, and you know you got your pineapples. Pineapples are good for decrease, helping to get rid of toxins around your midsection too. So, and then avocados can do the same, have the same effect. So mixing things like that together, I mean, it can bring wonders and give you that energy, that especially that afternoon boost that you might need. Adding things like that can actually help. So.
So you said afternoon boost. So is there a method or a science to what times a day you eat? Because I know a lot
Yeah.
of times people say don't eat after 8 or 10. I don't even finish teaching a lot of times until 9:30, 10, and I leave at like 3:30. So it's like, when am I supposed to eat dinner if I can't eat after 10? You can't eat, then I would starve.
Right, exactly. Well, I'll just tell you the science, what they say. Scientifically, your
Hmm.
highest peak where you can burn like the most calories, they say usually around noon is like the peak where you can start burning the most calories between noon and 1:30. But again, you have people that work crazy hours, crazy shifts. But if you do have that time, even if you have 5 minutes, if you can take time to eat like the bulk of, I guess, if you count calories, to eat the bulk of your calories around that time, then it's faster to your metabolism starts speeding up. And that was like a process is making sure that you get on a schedule, which is hard to do. Of course, I know too, just seeing like your schedule. But even
Yeah.
that little 5 minutes versus sitting down for 30 minutes could make a huge difference. Even if you got 5 minutes around the same time every day, even if you're like sitting there in the car, I mean, something, just adding, and it could be even at night. If you know at 10 p.m. that's the time that you have to actually eat, sit there and get a variety of things to eat. You don't want to eat like like really bulky things at night because that's when your body is going to rest.
No fried chicken and potato salad
No,
and
because
collard greens.
your body, when you go to sleep right after that, your body is detox. It's in that detox mode. So it's good too if you have like nut butters or something like that to put on your stomach too. That way, when you wake up, you won't be starving. But like something heavy like chicken and like potato salad, I don't know,
Okay,
cornbread.
wait. Because you say when you go to sleep. Now, what if you eat that at 10, but you don't go to sleep till like 2? Is your body still in a detox mode because of the time of day? Or is it just simply because you're going to sleep for most people?
Well, as far as cycle wise, this is science, and of course people can argue both ways, but they say usually
Hmm.
at between 7 and then 7 is like your body's time to fast. So it's like your body's
Hmm.
time to fast is 7 and 7. And so after that, your breakfast, you break the fast. That's basically what breakfast is. You're breaking the fast. And so some people, they start doing that intermittent fasting, and they may eat like a little a meal in the morning. They may fast all the way to almost dinner time, and then they eat their big dinner. But it's all everything that people have tried is trial and error. So there's no right or wrong way to actually do things. It's just like you decide, okay, I'm going to, eat my meal at 10, and then I'll be up for a few hours, but I'm going to do that, and then I'll eat my breakfast at 10 the next day. We just got to figure out what it is that you want to do personally, because I could tell you all day long, make sure you don't eat, that bulk meal at 10, or make sure you eat a big breakfast, or make sure you eat all your greens during lunchtime. But when you do whatever you decide to do, it's a test. Everything that you do, from keto to vegan, all of that is a test. So it's finding
Yep.
out, okay, what it is that's going to help my body. So just like when we were doing the little list we did, what, it's like a month ago, we did the little list of different things that you were eating, and just doing
Yep.
like a
Yep.
trial and error. It's like you find something, if it works, fine. If it doesn't work, that's when you have to try something else. And it's interesting you say that, because a lot of times people want a clear answer of what to do, what can I eat, and then
A
when
system.
that
Yep.
right, but when that system does not work, they look within and say, oh, maybe I didn't do it to the T, or maybe that wasn't the right system. Let me try something else. And as you can see, usually about five plus people, like five plus different diets people have tried over a lifetime, because they try this and then they go talk to their friend. What are you doing, girl? Oh, okay. You lost 5 pounds? Oh, I'm going to do that. And then you try that. You may lose it, and then you may gain it back. I'm like, maybe I didn't do it right. So let me try this. And then before you know it, you got a long list of different things that you've tried. And it may have been beneficial for a little while, but after a while, it may not work. So it's just like, okay, what can I do with the time that I have to find the biggest breakthrough for me? And so that's like kind of like the beauty of what I walk people through. It's like, okay, what can I do with the schedule that I have to get the most impact out of my day and to feel my best? Because I mean, as a dancer, you want to feel your best. You want to feel vibrant. And especially as you get older, you're just like, oh gosh. I remember when my body used to do that.
Recovery time is harder.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess
So
it's just
go
a
ahead.
matter of getting on a system for yourself. So having a system for
Right,
yourself. So it's not
right,
necessarily about the diet. It's about being consistent on one path for yourself, and just trying different things and listening to your personal body. So what works for one person may not necessarily work for somebody else. Is what
right.
I'm hearing you say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
And we see that a lot.
talk about the importance of journaling then and keeping track. How does that help you? I know how it helped me simply by just knowing what I'm doing in my schedule, because I wasn't realizing that I was eating certain things at the same time every day, or how much I snacked, or how much, so it opened my eyes to my patterns and my habits. And that allows me to address the habits and then change the lifestyle, not just try something fly by night, but actually
Right,
be aware and therefore be able to change.
right. So one thing I want to like address, like whenever you keep a journal, is not to shame you or anything.
Hmm.
So don't, and I'm saying you as everyone that's listening, not you personally, but
Yeah, yeah, you, like
yeah,
in
yeah,
general, yeah.
yeah. So it's not to be shaming, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm eating like this. But no, it's a lot of times we're so busy we can't keep up with what day it is, let alone what we ate for breakfast. So it's to help you see what you eat for breakfast, lunch, snacks, the time of day that you're actually eating those. And that way you can look back and say, oh my gosh, okay, well, dang, I didn't eat 2 days this week. Or maybe I need to, pack an apple or maybe make a trail mix, in between,
Yeah,
practices. So it's just to keep yourself accountable to you, to take care of yourself. Because one day you may feel like awful and you're trying to figure out, why am I feeling this way? Maybe it's just my hormones. But if you look back at your journal, maybe you skipped a few meals and that's causing your body to be all off whack. So it's just a way to keep yourself accountable to yourself and stay on point, and just to see where you can add things that may help you. Because again, we want to feel vibrant, right? And energized. So if you keep skipping meals, eventually your body's just going to like, okay, I'm just going to hold on to whatever I can hold on to because this girl is not going to eat tomorrow, you know?
yeah,
And I'll tell you that
yeah.
you put your body in a low level stress response. And so when you put your body in a low level stress response, your cortisol levels are spiking, your insulin levels go up, and your body is going to hold on to any food it can get. And so your metabolism is going to start to slow down, which means it's going to be
Mm.
hard for you to lose weight if that's the goal. So you
Yeah, so
skipping meals does not help. It's not going to help you lose weight. It's going to cause your body to go in starvation panic mode. So
a lot of people think that skipping meals is good, or that, I'll lose weight, but there's an unhealthy and a healthy way to lose weight. And I
right,
know
right.
for a dancer, as an older dancer,
Hmm.
is there any type of foods that help with the recovery process? Or how when you get older you're sore longer
Right.
doing certain things. So are there certain foods that help with certain things and certain recoveries, or certain, I get migraines, so is there specific foods for different things?
Good question. So one thing, add more leafy greens, because leafy greens help to detox the body. So when you're trying to recover, you need to replace your body, put more of the leafy greens into your body. Also, broccoli is really good too. So if you keep snack on, like, I don't know, a lot of people still like raw broccoli. I don't know, but
I like
maybe
broccoli.
maybe maybe you do a stir fry, or if you want broccoli and some dip or something like that. If you like fresh juices, I don't know, do they have jamba juice in the DMV area? Jamba juice, or do y'all have something like that?
Good
I don't
question.
know,
I
but a
don't know.
juice, like a fresh juice bar, if you got one nearby where you can get some fresh juice, that's good for and coconut oil. coconut oil, coconut milk, coconut water. Coconut water is really good. It has a lot of electrolytes in it, so that's really good to add to your body. Of course, water, alkaline water. If you can, even if you can't buy alkaline water, as far as drink it regularly, but if you know that you need something really good right away, you can add some alkaline water. Put some lemon juice in it. So any type of citrus like lemon juice, lime, add things like that too as well. That can help with recovery.
Cool. So I'm gonna have to try some of these things. I know it's trial and error, even with like my blender, and what can I blend together to make it taste good, like the
Yeah.
avocado and pineapple you say, the
Mm-hmm.
quantities and things like that. So definitely, those are all good options and things. And I'm gonna have to start packing something so I can snack in between
Yeah.
classes. We only have literally
Yeah.
like 3 to 5 minutes, if that. Or hey, you guys, run laps. I'm gonna eat this real quick. But you
Yes.
stated before that that's like a stress eating thing because your body's in a hurry up mode, right?
Yes.
Like
So,
you got a woo-saw when you eat.
so, not technically, but let me just give you an example. Okay, so if they're running laps and you have not eaten and you're hungry, you get your little snack out. Don't just like, okay, I gotta hurry up, hurry up. But just sit there for a moment and breathe. Like some people do breathing exercises, and we do teach some of our clients to do that. I mean, if it helps you. So if you want to woosah, whatever, but just don't scarf it down. Pay attention to your chewing, because I mean you can chew slowly while they're running laps. You don't have to scarf it down real quick. So it's more
True.
like a mental thing, because it's like, okay, they're running laps. I only have maybe 5 minutes to eat this. Oh my gosh, gotta hurry up. But 5 minutes can be a long time to sit and eat if you just kind of tune in to what you're doing and sit there and just eat. Just chew it up, eat. Don't scarf it down. Just savor that moment. If you got to set a timer, but at least you're getting something in. But it's all about slowing down. That's the whole art, the art of slowing down with your meals. It doesn't have to take an hour to eat to slow down. But in that 5 minutes, you can slow down, eat your trail mix or eat your banana, and just slow down for a little bit. The 5 minutes up, you can go back to being fast or whatever you're doing, but just kind of
Going
tune in to that 5 minutes. And it takes time, because I had to work with my children to do that. And still they'll, eat fast. But I have children that have food allergies. And so they were like my first clients when I went through my training. And just slowing down, your body's able to digest your food properly. And so it was hard. It was not easy, because you're used to eating and chewing fast. And it's like, oh my gosh, I got stuff to do. But if you make it a habit, just like we made a habit to eat fast, we can make a habit to eat slower. And it takes time, but I mean, you can do it. Anybody can really do it, but it takes practice, just like anything else.
So, from a dance teacher perspective, what should we be telling our students about eating and food and nutrition? Just because we're not there to talk about food and nutrition, but that is a viable part of their education and being a dancer and how to take care of your instrument, which is your body. So, what should we be conveying to the kids about nutrition and eating?
One thing that would be helpful is just to let them know, like after practice, maybe pack, even the day before, you can tell them, make sure you pack maybe some trail mix, or if you like some raw veggies, or just if you're in conversation, like, what's your favorite thing for dinner, what do you like to eat after practice? And maybe like you try to salad, maybe get some kale or some other leafy green, spinach, just like casually have that conversation with them, so they can start implementing those leafy greens like for dinner, because that'll help them with their detoxing their body, cool down. Even like coconut water, if they say, oh, that's gross, like, do you like smoothies? Oh yeah, I like smoothies. Well, maybe put some coconut water in your smoothie, because you can't really taste it when it's in your smoothie. Just different
Yeah,
little things,
right.
like, yeah, different little things. Add some little snack, like raw, like some nuts or some berries, just things like that.
I've
Because
seen
when you
people eat seaweed.
say, oh, I love seaweed. If they eat seaweed, hey, hands down, that's awesome. If kids will eat that, because I know my kids love it, but some kids frown upon that. But just things like that can help them. I mean, it's that little things, the little tweaks that really helps them. And so as you have the conversations, and two, as they see you, I mean, you're the teacher is the best model for their students. If they see you eating an apple, what are you eating? Oh, I'm eating, this little seaweed snack, or I'm eating the apple. And, it's really good. It helps your body relax after, helps your body detox after chips or whatever. But just little things like that, and just modeling the behavior. That way it can help them. And it's subtle, you just without, sometimes you don't have to say anything. They just watch you. So if they see that you're doing something
Yeah.
different, they'll be like,
People
huh.
don't realize how much kids watch them.
Oh, yeah. And they listen to,
So,
conversation.
as far as sugar tooth, so say for example, somebody has a sweet tooth.
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually used to have a big sweet tooth, but I really
Right.
don't crave chocolate candy bars and stuff like that anymore. But what if somebody has a sweet tooth? What would you suggest? I like grapes, but somebody told me don't eat grapes. They're the worst things to eat out the fruit category because they're all sugar. So
Like,
I'm just saying.
eat
So
your
what
grapes.
kind of substitutes could we do for instead of a candy bar?
Okay. Do you like dates? You know what dates are? They look like,
Don't know.
well,
Never had.
I hate to be gross, but they look like cockroaches. They're this big. They're like these. They're about this wide or this long, and it's a fruit, dates, and some have pits, some do not. But if you get the kind that has pits, you remove the pit. If you like any kind of nut butter, you can put some nut butter inside the date. You can eat the dates just like they are because they're really sweet. But a lot of people don't realize that they are really good for detoxing your body and for weight loss too. So there's a good snack, and they're filling too. So if you like any like peanut butter, almond butter, something like that, put it in the date because you can open up the inside of the date. And I'll have to share with you a recipe. I have a recipe, and they look like candy bars. And so you put some nut butter in there, and then you wrap it in chocolate. And it's not milk chocolate. It's like real. You can get real chocolate, just cocoa. And if you want it,
Rich, dark,
yeah,
yeah.
rich, yeah, dark chocolate, something like that. And you can roll them in there, and then you can put them in the freezer. That's if you're at home. Put them in the freezer, and it tastes just like a Snickers. But if you don't have a freezer available, then you can just put some nut butter in there on the go, and it still tastes like a candy bar because it's really sweet. Figs, something like figs, they're really good for detoxing. Just it's all about replacing what you have. Like if you want to eat grapes, eat the grapes, eat the cherries, eat it. You know, that's what we get. We get so legalistic and oh, don't eat that, don't eat that. Now, if it's something that's really causing you upset, you want to stop eating it, but we can't put food in a box. And we living in where we live, we try to do the best that we can. So
Yeah.
whatever we have access to, make the most of it, and then substitute where necessary. That's the best that we can do. But when we stress about it, that's what gets us in trouble. That's where the weight gain comes. That's where the stress eating comes, because we're so pressured into what people telling us what we can't eat.
What we
So
should be eating. Yep.
right, right. So yeah, so those are some good things: dates, figs, some dried fruits. I wouldn't eat a lot of dried fruits like every day because it is sugary. It is really sugary. But stuff like figs and dates, you can get those. You can get those in bulk. I'm telling you, you need to
Yeah.
try.
I'm gonna
You
have
need
to
to try the
try it.
dates. They're so good. They're so good. But I'll post a recipe. So like if you're around the house weekend, you got a candy bar craving. It tastes just like a candy bar. It's really good.
Yeah, please do, because I
Yeah,
will definitely try
yeah.
it. So definitely post away, post away.
Okay.
So with that being said, we are about out of time. It has been 28 minutes,
Yeah, we've been rolling,
right?
girl. Yeah.
So, true to my word, I said this would be a 30-minute little quickie interview. So, if somebody wanted to ask you further questions beyond posting on this live feed, how could they reach you?
Good question. So I can post a link also, and my website is hicunnichandler.com. I have lots of resources, lots of recipes on there as well, lots of freebies as well. But if you're interested in taking it a step further, I do have a course called Free to Embody. It's a video course, and I can post a link as well if you would like me to do that.
Yes,
Hmm.
definitely. I think a lot of people could benefit from it, not only dance teachers,
Hmm.
moms, dads, everybody could benefit from just changing the way they think about food.
Mhm.
and how we eat and what it means, because I know a lot of times we have the comparisons between the states and other countries, and their eating sweets and stuff is different. It's like the rich chocolate, or is in
Right.
moderation. And
Right.
whereas here we see the sugar and the sweets, and we're like consuming, 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 like food is going to go away. Whereas other countries don't have that same food mentality. And so I definitely think is worth changing the mindset when it comes to
Mhm.
food. And it's not about the weight per se, it's more about the health and the nutrition and making sure we're the best we can be, like you said.
Right. I'm
So,
all about that.
Hikini, exactly. So I am honored that you spent this time with me this evening for you, this afternoon for us. We definitely, I'm all about getting people information that can help them and improve their lives. So I appreciate you, honey.
No
It was
problem.
always, always, always good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Thank you for having me.
No problem. And you look great. I hope you're enjoying the new area.
Oh, I love it. It's beautiful here. I really love it.
I see some
Hmm.
of those scene shots that you post,
Girl. See,
those views.
everyone has to come. I'm telling you, it's so pretty here. It's so pretty. So,
Definitely.
mhm.
I'm going to hold you to that, okay?
Mhm. All right.
I'm going to hold you to that. All right, hun. Get back to the family.
Thank
Enjoy your
you.
is it Memorial Day there, right? No, it's here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cookout season and
Yeah.
pool season.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So definitely enjoy your day.
You too. Thank you so
Thanks for
much. I
joining me.
appreciate it. All right. Thanks.
All right. Talk to you
Bye.
later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.